Treyarch just put the Sirin 9mm into Black Ops 6 early, and it's easily the best bullet weapon currently in the game. In this video, I'll be giving you the best attachments to run on it, showing you how it fared against each enemy type, including Patient 13, and how it did during the Liberty Falls lockdown. Before we get into the breakdown, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already for more Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies content. With that out of the way, let's get into it. So as many of you probably know, the Sirin 9mm pistol was supposed to be the community reward for reaching 50 billion total eliminations during the hit list event. However, earlier today, Treyarch and Activision released the Cash Bandit bundle in the COD store for 2,800 COD points, which includes a blueprint for the Sirin 9mm. Upon purchasing the bundle, you'll not only get the blueprint for the weapon, but you also get access to the base version of the Sirin. I've got to be honest here, I really don't agree with them adding this bundle into the game at this current point in time. I don't think anyone would care if they added this in down the line, but the fact that the Sirin was supposed to be unlocked via a community challenge, and then they just randomly added in a bundle where you could pay $25 to get it early, really rubs me the wrong way. I know I can show for zombies and COD it a few times, but this is definitely not one of them. If this bundle was for Battle Pass weapons and you could buy it for instant access to those guns instead of waiting to level up the Battle Pass, I honestly really wouldn't care. But the fact that the Sirin was supposed to be unlocked after we as a community grinded out kills as part of an in-game event and they went ahead and added it in early behind a paywall really sucks. At the end of the day, I guess it is what it is. Everybody's going to get free access to this weapon in like a week, but in my opinion, releasing it locked behind a paid bundle early really devalues the point of the community challenge. I hope for future community events, they wait until the weapon's actually unlocked for everybody before releasing it through the store. With the rant out of the way, I did in fact buy the bundle to get early access to the Sirin to test it out, and holy mother of God, this thing is absolutely busted. Originally, it was said to be an SMG, then it was rumored to be a pistol, but Treyarch has settled on calling the Sirin a special weapon. I don't really get the classification of the weapon here, but all I know is that it's unbelievably OP in zombies and is easily the best bullet weapon not named the Salient Fourth currently in the game. There's only a few attachments for the Sirin, but the ones I'd run would be the iron sight, suppressor, long barrel, vertical foregrip, and extended mag. Now when it comes to actual gameplay, there isn't another bullet weapon that even touches the Sirin minus the Salient Fourth. Against the zombies, it absolutely fries. It seems like every gun they add in the DLC updates is going to get progressively better than the ones that they were currently in the game. But I mean, the jump between this gun and like any other weapon, especially between, ARs, SMGs, pistols, this thing is just absolutely on a different planet. When it comes to killing zombies, it'll two-shot a regular zombie in the late 30s, which is just unheard of to me. Against armored zombies, you really have to kind of get dead shot on it and chip away at the armor before the zombies become really malleable. But it's not going to be too much of a grind to chip away at the armored zombies. You can really knock them out pretty quickly. And like I said, I used this gun up until round 40 and it was absolutely shredding in the late 30s. I got 1,800 of the 2,000 critical kills you need for the military camo challenges done in a single game, and the closest I had come with any other bullet weapon prior to the Sirin was literally like 1,300 at most, and that was with the SOG. So there is a significant boost in damage with this Sirin. I guess maybe the reason why they didn't want to classify it as an SMG or a pistol is because it's just way better than both of those. I feel like the range on the Sirin too is better than most ARs that are currently in zombies. I've heard people say that in multiplayer and Warzone it absolutely shreds, so I don't know, like it just absolutely cooks regular zombies and pretty much everything else in the game. So moving on to the manglers, again, same exact thing as the armored zombies here. Might take a couple of bullets to get their helmets off, but it absolutely fries once you get to the critical kills. It's disgusting. I mean, on the higher rounds, once you get into the 30s, obviously it's a little tough to be shooting at 5 manglers at a time, so you kind of have to be patient with it, but it doesn't matter. Like once you are focused on one mangler, you can immediately shred them into the ground. It's not even funny. Like, I'm so serious. I know I say this a lot with some of the weapons, but this Sirin is absolutely broken, especially when it comes to zombies, armored zombies, manglers. Moving into the next one, we have the amalgam. Same exact thing. It might take a little bit more time to kill an amalgam than it does a mangler, especially on the higher rounds, because you constantly got to be hitting the critical shots with them. But again, it absolutely fries them. It's not really a contest. In some of the clips here, you'll probably see me using Shadow Rift. That'll equip on the amalgams and the clips that I used for most of these. It doesn't matter, even without Shadow Rift, it probably would have been maybe another 2 or 3 seconds before you got the full kill. It's really only a couple seconds to kill these amalgams, and it's absolutely disgusting. Moving into the last elite zombie, we have the abominations. Dude, it cooks. Like, there's not one bad thing I have to say about this Sirin really with any of these mini bosses. I feel like the range on this thing is a little bit better than a lot of the ARs, which is amazing for the abomination because you can stand pretty far away from them and just like destroy their health, especially when their mouths are open. Even if their mouths aren't open, you can cook these things really, really quickly. With the recent nerf of the ASG shotgun, it seems like this is literally going to be the meta in zombies, which is insane to me because for a while there, I was 100% sure they were going to make shotguns the meta this year, and maybe the next one they release in the DLC season will be back to being peak. But right now, man, I'm telling you guys, if you don't have the bundle, you're going to want to get the Siren as soon as it's unlocked and just try it against all these different bosses and zombies because it's absolutely insane. Moving into the actual boss fights themselves, we're going to start like we normally do with Nathan, and it's not even a contest. Obviously, Nathan's got a little more health than a regular Amalgam, but it didn't even matter. It was maybe like at most 15 seconds. I did have to use Ether Shroud because I got bumped into a corner, but literally just fries him. Like, it's not even funny. Like, it didn't take me any time at all. It's one of the better guns in the game to use against Nathan. Moving on to Patient 13, this is where we'll get a little more detailed with it. I was kind of actually underwhelmed with how it performed during stage 1. I thought this was going to be the exact same thing as the SOG, where once you take the SOG to Patient 13, it really falls off, but it seems like just in stage 1 is where this really struggles. Trying to pop the boils was a little bit tough. The boils can soak a lot of damage from the Siren, but once you do pop it, obviously you do a massive critical hit to Patient 13 and it'll go away. In phase 2, a little bit better, not really like too OP, but a little better than phase 1. I was able to actually complete phase 2 faster than phase 1. I'd say doing the normal damage to his mouth was a little bullet spongy, but then once I got to the tentacles, it was super, super light to just take them both out. It really didn't take very much time at all. And then in stage 3 of the boss fight, this is where it actually shines, believe it or not. I mean, I absolutely cruised here. Granted, I did use Idolize to get myself right up to him to see how fast I could take him down. But, I mean, regardless, if you're hitting the critical headshots here on Patient 13 with this gun, you are going to absolutely fry him. I was a little worried about it possibly sucking because of the damage range. But again, this apparently is just as good as any AR, if not better than any AR at range. So, cooked up Patient 13. It wasn't even a contest. I mean, it was fun. I was able to have a little bit of struggle there with phase 1. I thought for sure I was in for a long boss fight, but phase 2 and phase 3 are unironically a lot easier than phase 1. The last part of the review is going to be the Liberty Falls lockdown, and again, I gotta be honest, against these mega elites, the Siren performed incredibly well. Against the Manglers, it's kind of like the normal Manglers, where it takes a little bit to knock their helmet off, but once you're just on to the actual critical face shots, it's very, very easy to kill the Manglers, knock them off very easily, especially when you're doing the actual canister step and not just the lockdown. But then when it comes to the Abomination, I think it was okay. It wasn't the best gun to use against the Aboms. I'd almost rather still even have the GS45 over the Siren here, but with the last Abomination that spawns in, maybe I just wasn't hitting my headshots and I need to get better, but it did pretty well, but it didn't do unbelievably well where I was like, oh man, I just killed that last Abomination in 20 seconds, you know. It was maybe like a good 30-45 seconds, and it was a little bit harder than I thought it would be, but honestly, really, again, not too bad whatsoever. It was a really fun gun to use. I was also able to get Nebula over the course of 3.5 hours. Like I said, I got 1,800 critical kills done in my first run of Liberty Falls, and then the rest was really easy. I think some of the other challenges were like get 30 Parasite kills and 300 hip fires. So it's a super, super easy gun to get Nebula if you already have the camo unlocked. It didn't take me any time at all, and it's super fun to use because it's OP. I hope that they don't nerf this thing before it releases for everybody. It would really suck to make this thing OP to incentivize buying the bundle, and then as soon as it comes out for everybody via the community challenge, they nerf it. I don't think they'll do that. I'm just praying to God they don't, because the backlash is going to be pretty tough if they do indeed do that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this detailed review on the Siren. I'm sure there's going to be lots of comments below about people telling me how they hate that this was in a bundle. I totally agree with you. Don't take it out on me, man. I just got it because COD's my job, and it's my job to cover these weapons when they drop, and I've been trying to carve out a nice niche for me doing weapon reviews here, or at least initial reactions to the weapons. So again, just try not to take it out too much on me, but if you're upset with COD, I get it. I don't really support them doing this in this fashion. They should have at least waited until the event was over. But hope you guys have a good rest of your night or day, depending upon when you're watching this. Remember to stay hydrated, stay safe, peace.